Hi friends, welcome to downtown Miami. Let's take some photos. Look at that plane. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know if I'm ready for this. Oh my god. Maybe. Oh, it's gonna come over. Here we go. Yes. That's a fine start. There's a lot of wind today. I apologize for whatever problems that could pose for my audio. I'll try to mitigate for it as much as possible. That's a big boat. Let's see if we can get this boat to align nicely with the background here. Oh yeah, this is totally gonna work. No, not the most interesting boat I've ever seen, but that'll do. This spot looks like a spot I've seen in a video game before. Welcome to Miami.
Mantenerse alejado del borde de la plataforma. Permite a los pasajeros salir del tren antes de abordar.
Oh wow. This guy, what is that? Okay, so that's a film camera. Hi, Editing James here to provide some context. This man was wondering how much his cameras were worth. He saw me with my cameras and thought, you might know things about cameras. Help! That's a film.
Film and digital.
That's alright. That's a digital. That looks like another film camera right there.
It is.
That might be worth a little bit.
How much?
I'm not
20?
Tough to say, man. I would have to look online.
It's a Nikon.
It is a
I did
Nikon.
look. They're like $20 at the pawn shop, right?
Yeah. I mean, you might be able to get at least 50 for that guy. For the older one.
This one is the nicest one?
I think so. Yeah. That one's gonna go for about $1.
Okay.
That one.
Nice.
Maybe 50, maybe.
Okay, just because it's cool.
That one's a little newer. It's not as vintage looking, right? So, I don't know,
10 bucks.
20, 50.
Okay, nice.
Maybe. I may be wrong.
Thank you.
Good luck. I wanted to know if what I told this man was accurate, so I did some research. First, I looked at a frame in the video and took a nice close look at the camera to see what we were working with. Now, one thing I noticed was that I could not tell what the letters were on the camera precisely. I could tell that there was an F, but I could not tell what the second letter was. I was thinking it was going to be an F3, but when I looked up an F3, it was not the right thing. So I then looked at a huge grid of all film cameras made by Nikon, which is very helpful. And right somewhere in the top left third of that grid, I think, was a Nikon FG. Now, I was still unsure if it was the right camera because the camera on the grid was a silver body camera. The one he had was a black body camera. after some further research, I realized they also make black body versions of this camera, or made. Another thing I was paying close attention to was the knob placement on the camera, particularly the front of the camera. And the FG seemed to be the only one I could find on the grid that had the knobs in that exact position and that looked that exact way. So then I went on eBay and I started looking for prices for the FG. And as I was looking at the FG black body, I realized that it's probably the camera. It looks exactly like it. And I noticed to my great delight that these cameras were selling for $50 or even $100. So I was right and low. Anyway, back to the photo walk. James Red, Jaywalker extraordinaire. That man has enormous legs. How's it going? Hi. So I've been shooting at 2.8 for the most part today. I shot a little bit of f4 right at the beginning. I find it's a fantastic way to get some of the clutter out of the background, or make it less pronounced at least. It emphasizes a bit more of a cinematic feel, coupled with the focal length that I'm using, which is around 75 millimeters. I'm shooting with a 50 millimeter, but we're on an APS-C sensor, so that crops it in a little bit. And I like it. I started shooting this way, and I really love the look. It just speaks to me. We have some really nice light settling in right now. See, this man has normal sized legs. I'm more enthusiastic about these buildings than I thought I would be. I like the architecture style. It's cool seeing them come right up to the water line. Oh wow, there's something going on. Oh, it's an event in some sort of convention center, sports arena. Okay, the event's for this person. I've heard the name, but I don't really know much about this person. Good heavens, 1 billion? Okay, I can't say this is intriguing me much. It took me about 45 seconds to make that decision. That's kind of fun. So it's dinner time, which means I'm going to put nutrition in my body, and then I'm going to relocate. Okay, we have now moved. The city is that way on the other side of all those trees. Key Biscayne is that way, if you know what that is, and the ocean is this way. I'm going to see if I can get some people walking and or swimming. There's a fellow swimming over here. Also, I just listened to Phil Collins on the radio, so I'm pumped! I just missed the bike. How sad. I'm enjoying playing with the city against the foreground elements. of these palm trees and such.
McAfee.
Whoa! Guys, you probably can't see this, but the moon is wonderful. I crossed the bridge. There appears to be more action on this side. This GoPro really does a fantastic job with low light, especially compared to older GoPros. I haven't done this yet. Oh, it ended. Oh, there we go. Okay, that's it for this one. I am now back in Salt Lake City. I could not get enough of the weather in South Florida. It was wonderful. I think I bleed palm trees. If you want to see where I share the photos from these photo walks, you can find me on Instagram at James the Red. Links below. Find me on Twitter at James the Red. Links below. And if you have any questions about my process in this video, please feel free to comment below. I'll be happy to engage with you. If you like what I'm up to here, hit the like button. If you really like what I'm up to here, hit the subscribe button. I would appreciate it greatly. I hope you have a lovely day. Goodbye.